My name is Dr. RickyAllmon. I'm the author of the Life Lessons book, Living in Full Effectiveness. This book was inspired by my favorite book in the Bible, which is the book of Proverbs, which gives us more than principles and philosophies, but it provides practical application for daily living. It is important that we understand how not to just navigate the function of our life, but how to negotiate the roles in our life. Your functions may change, but your roles are constant. And so through the Life Lessons journey, I want to encourage and empower you how to turn your failures into your focus, how to use your fears as your fuel so that you can maximize your potential and be productive in your purpose. In other words, this book is designed for everyday people to get everything out of life.
Dr. RickyAllmon's new book, Life Lessons, is focused on purpose, productivity, and faith. Let's first talk about the book that you have.
So you have 31 Proverbs, but my favorite one is actually the first one. Of course, anybody going through the book, they may have another one that's their favorite, but my favorite is the first one. It's called Show Your Scars. And that life thought deals with the fact that your scars are more than a reminder of your past.
Absolutely.
It's a reward for your survival.
Yes.
It's a sign that your wound has healed. And so oftentimes when people look at their scars, they go, oh, there can't be anything good about this, because they think about the miserable moment or the unfortunate circumstance that gave them that scar. What they're not realizing is that scar is actually a sign that there's more left in front of them than behind them. Ralph Waldo Emerson said it best. He said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. RickyAllmon, your future facilitator and spiritual strategist. Welcome to LifeTalks, Leadership After Dark. The sole purpose of this video podcast is just to encourage you and empower you to explore your potential, to engage your passions, and to expand your possibilities. So here's what I need you to do, because we've got a great conversation tonight. And I can't wait to share with you some of the musings from this meandering muddle maze that I call a mind. I believe I'm going to share some insights that will inspire you, inform you, and ultimately, I believe they will transform you so that you can pursue and achieve everything that your life is designed for. So listen, if you're on Facebook, I need you to go ahead and share this video on your timeline. As a matter of fact, start a watch party so those that are connected to you, your friends, your followers, can watch what you're watching, hear what you're hearing, so that you can have a conversation with them when this is over with. If you're watching me on YouTube, and I'm looking at YouTube now, I see some folk on. I see my cousin Arby on. What's up, man? Thank you for joining me tonight. If you're on YouTube, I need you to like this video. I need you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button to this channel. And then there's a bell, a notifications bell. I need you to hit that notifications bell so that whenever I go live, you'll receive a notification through YouTube. And then I have those that are watching me on Twitter, on Periscope. Go ahead and share this on your Twitter timeline. Thank all of you for joining me tonight. As you're coming on, go ahead and shout out your first name and your city, so I can give you a shout back. I see those that are joining me on YouTube. I see the ones on Facebook, Brandon, Cynthia. I see y'all coming on in here. Hey, Pam, good to see you. That's my babysitter. Don't try to follow her on Facebook to find out whether I was a bad child or not. But thank you for joining me tonight. Listen, go ahead and share this. Share it on your timeline. Start a watch party, especially those that are on Facebook. I just want to give you about 60 more seconds to get in here and invite others to join you, because I don't want you to miss anything that I'm getting ready to share with you tonight. For those who want to stay connected in real time, I'm sure you got your cell phone right in front of you. You're probably watching on your cell phone. I want you to text the word Impact Life to 31996. That will allow you to receive real-time text messages from me whenever I'm going live or whenever I have something that I want to share with you quickly. I can just send it as a text and you'll receive it. Those of you that are already a part of my texting group, you received a text tonight about this live. So if you want to receive text notifications from me, text the word Impact Life to 31996. You can do it right now. And then if you want to subscribe to my blog, if you want to get my monthly newsletter, it's where I share thoughts. I update you on upcoming events. I tell you things that are happening in my life, give you some of my business. So if you're a little bit nosy, you might want to go ahead and subscribe to my newsletter. Just text the word RickyAllmon to 22828. So Impact Life, you're going to receive a text message, and RickyAllmon, you're going to receive an email that's going to send you my newsletter. So go ahead and do that now so you can stay connected. I want you to stay connected to me, and I want to stay connected to you. At the end of our conversation tonight, I'll give you an email address so that you can share with me anything you want to share with me, or maybe you just need some insight or encouragement, or maybe even prayer. I'll give you a way to reach out to me because I want to stay connected with you too. What can I say about our subject tonight? It's going to be amazing. We're talking about, can you see it from here? Can you see it from here? What is it that you want for your life? What is it that you want to do with your life? And can you see your future from where you are right now? I want to deal with how to stimulate and sustain vision for success. That's what I want to talk about tonight. How to stimulate and sustain vision for success. Tonight's conversation is for a specific group of people, and I want to know if you identify yourself in this group of people. Because tonight's conversation is for those who are ready to go beyond where you are, but you don't know where to start. That's what this conversation is for. You know there's something more for your life. You know you ought to be doing more with your life. No matter what level of success you're at right now, you've been saying to yourself, I know there's more. I know I've got to get beyond where I am, but I just don't know where to start. Or maybe you're somebody who say, I know how to start, but I don't know what I need. I don't know who I need. Well, that's what I want to help you with tonight. The reason I asked the question, can you see it from here, is because I believe that the most important attribute for a life of productivity and progress is vision. Let me say that again. The most important attribute for a life of productivity and progress is vision. Understand this. Relationships may provide you who you need. Resources may provide you what you need. But vision gives you direction for where you want to go. Allow me to recapitulate that. Let me rewind. I wish I had a rewind sound effect. If somebody can find a rewind sound effect, email it to me at info@RickyAllmon.org. Gary, I'm sure you could find me one, but I need a rewind sound effect. Let me say that again. Relationships may provide who you need. Resources may provide what you need. But vision provides direction for where you want to go. Because I need you to understand this. What's the use of having the right connections, which are relationships? What's the use of having the right tools, which are resources, if I don't have the right plan, which is vision? So you can have the right connections, you can have the relationships, you can have the right tools, You can have resources, but if you don't have a plan, which is vision, you're not going anywhere. One thinker said it this way: if you don't know where you want to go, then any way will get you there. You got it because you're not going anywhere. If you don't know where you want to go, then any way will get you there because you're not going anywhere. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, they're moving, but they're not going anywhere. They're busy, but they're not productive. They're even working hard, but they're not seeing any results. Someone said this: if you fail to plan, then you've planned to fail. And so that's why tonight I want to talk about how to stimulate and sustain vision so that you can be successful in whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. And so you can reach whatever the goals are you have and whatever it is that's in front of you in your future. I'll never forget this story that I heard years ago about this family that was going on vacation, and they were going to one of the popular amusement parks. And so this was before GPS. This was before smartphones. This is when you had to pull out a map and you had to measure how far it was between where you were and your destination. And so the father of the family decided that because he had been to this amusement park many times before, that he didn't need to use the map this time. And so they start out their trip at McDonald's, and they go at McDonald's and they order their breakfast and get their egg McMuffin and their pancakes, and they start on their way. They're making their journey. They've traveled now about 4 hours. Started out at 8. It's now 12. And they said, wow, look at this. We ate at McDonald's for breakfast. Right at noon, here's another McDonald's. They go in, they order their lunch. The McDonald's employees are kind to them and are talking to them as if they know them. They're giving them extra fries in their bag and upgrading their meal combos. And the father said, man, this is wonderful. I mean, we had breakfast at McDonald's, lunchtime, there's another McDonald's right on cue. I'm excited. We're almost there. We've got about 4 to 6 hours to go. They get back in the car. They start out again. They drive about another 4 hours. Everybody's getting hungry, restless. They're like, wow, can you believe it? Another McDonald's. This time they go in and the people start calling out their names. Hey, John. What's up, Sheila? And the father's like, oh, this is amazing. He said, you know, they asked for my name for the order when we ate breakfast. So they must have called it. I told them where we were going. So they must have called the McDonald's that we stopped there for lunch, and they called them. I don't know how they would know that. Maybe it's some kind of tracking device on our receipt. But they know where we are. His wife said, well, let's ask. So the wife asked and said, how do you know our names? And the clerk said, well, it's because you've been here 2 other times before. That's what it looks like when you're moving, but you're not going anywhere. It's called going around in circles. Now, you do have to understand this, that when it comes to vision, you don't have to know everything about where you're going, because some of you are paralyzed by analysis. It's called the paralysis of analysis. You say, Dr. Allmon, you're right. I've got to have a plan, and that's why I haven't done anything. Well, hold on now. Pump your brakes. Slow your roll. Don't think that you have to know everything before you do anything. You need to do something. And you don't have to know everything about where you're going to know the direction you need to go in. And that's what I want to focus in on tonight. Just for a brief moment, I want to help give you a direction. Over these next couple of weeks, I'm going to provide you 3 practical steps that I believe are very critical if you're going to advance and maintain a high level of focus in your vision. Because for some of you, it's time for you to make a definitive decision about the direction you want to take. I want you to pause right now. I want you to stop right now. Close your eyes. Can you do this with me? I'll close mine too. Close your eyes. I just want you to take 30 seconds and I want you to see one thing that you would like to see manifest in your future. One thing, doesn't matter what it is. It can be a business, it can be relationship, it can be a house, a car, a city you want to live in. It doesn't matter what it is. This is your life. This is your business. But see one thing. Now open your eyes, because tonight I want to start you on that journey. I'm so glad you tuned in tonight. Listen, tonight I'm only going to share the first of 3 steps that you need to take so that you can engage your advancement and bring focus to your vision. Tonight, somebody is getting ready to start the first day in the manifestation of their destiny. Is it you? Somebody tonight is getting ready to break free from monotony. Somebody tonight is getting ready to break free from mundane existence. Wow, it sounds like I'm about to have a deliverance service in here. I didn't plan to go like this, but somebody's about to break free, because I'm getting ready to give you the first of 3 steps. You're not going to get the other 2 until next week, so you got to come back. Tonight, I just want to give you the first thing that you need to do if you're going to engage advancement. If you're going to start calling to you what's calling for you. Here's the first thing you got to have. If you're going to be able to see your future from where you are, the first thing you've got to have in your life is curiosity. You've got to be curious. What does that mean? That means you have to be willing to explore the what ifs. What if I try? What if I reach? Most people live in what if not. Well, what if it doesn't work? What if they don't like me? What if the relationship don't last? How about shifting that and live in the what ifs? What if they like me? What if I open that business and I'm mega successful? What if they'll support me? What if they'll help me? What if I'll get that money? What if my credit is good enough to have that? Curiosity is about exploring the what ifs. What are your what ifs? If I ask you, what if, fill in the blank. What if that worked? What if you finish that book? Come on, what are your what ifs? You ought to put it in the comments. What are some of the what ifs in your life? What do you mean, Dr. Allmon, what ifs? What I'm trying to say to you is, don't limit yourself to one way of doing anything. Don't limit yourself to where you are when there's more that you're called to be. You've got more potential in you. You've got more talent in you. You've got more ability in you. You've got more gifts in you. So it's time for you to use what you have. So the first step in moving forward so that you can see your future from here is curiosity. Don't limit yourself to one way of doing anything. Don't become mundane. Don't get stuck in a rut. You know what a rut is. A rut is a routine that doesn't work. Don't get stuck in a rut. Be flexible and open to new methods and options. So here is what it means to be curious. And this is where I want to drill down tonight. And I want to drop my anchor for the remainder of this conversation. because I want you to understand why curiosity is so important. When you become curious, you unlock the power of permission. Did you hear what I said? When you become curious, you unlock the power of permission. When you live your life in a state of curiosity, when you live with a state of adventure, when you don't allow your life to be limited or linear, when you decide to explore the what ifs, you unlock the power of permission in your life. If I were to describe to you what I believe permission looks like, it would be this waterfall, this splendiferous, magnificent waterfall that you're looking at on the screen. That's what the power of permission looks like. Water doesn't wait for you to give it an opening. Water doesn't wait for you to say you can flow. Water finds a way to flow. Let me tell you, if you try to block water off, water will create a new path. There are places where water will go up a hill. That's how your life is designed to be. This is not a Bible study tonight, but if I were to go back to Genesis, at one time the whole world was just water. So everything that we see now comes out of water. As a matter of fact, without water, we can't have life. So think about it. When you become curious, you unlock the power of permission. Your life becomes like water. It becomes a current. It becomes a flow. In other words, there is no obstacle that can be put in front of you that can stop you from accomplishing what you're supposed to do. Did you hear what I said? When you unlock the power of permission, your life becomes like water, which means there's no obstacle that can be put in front of you that will stop what your life is designed to produce. So I want to give you 5 areas of permission that you need to give yourself tonight. You want to write this down. Type it on the screen. There are 5 areas of permission that you need to give yourself, or 5 areas in which you need to give yourself permission. I'm going to try to do them justice in the little time I have left, because I know some of y'all are waiting to get to dinner, or you got other things you want to finish. You might have a sitcom coming on, but I'm talking about your life tonight. I want you to be able to see your future from where you are right now. So here's the power of permission. The first permission you need to give yourself, are you ready? Give yourself the permission to forgive fully. If you're going to live a life of curiosity, if you're going to live a life in the what ifs and not the what if not, if you're going to unlock and unleash the power of permission, if your life is going to become like a current, like a tsunami, like a waterfall, the first thing you got to do is forgive fully. Why is that so important? Because forgiveness is not just about the person who you're giving the forgiveness to. Forgiveness is about you freeing yourself. Forgiveness actually restores your soul. What does that mean, Dr. Allman? I'm so glad you asked. Forgiveness gives that part of you back to you. That's why it's unhealthy to hold grudges. That's why it's unhealthy to walk around with a chip on your shoulder. Because that area that you're holding that grudge in is an area that you need for your curiosity. That's an area you need to explore the possibilities of your life. So if you're going to release the power of permission, the first thing you got to do is forgive fully. Can I get personal? Come here. Get a little close to the screen. Who do you need to forgive? You ought to text them right now. And you know the reality? It really wasn't a big deal. I mean, they hurt your feelings a little bit. And they may or may not have meant it. But it's not even about them apologizing. I need you to understand that. Because people think, well, when they say they sorry, I forgive them. No. Forgiveness has nothing to do with the other party or parties. Forgiveness has everything to do with you giving yourself permission to be free. Because even if they don't apologize, if you hold your forgiveness because they haven't said I'm sorry or forgive me, then guess who's bound? Guess who's locked up? Not them, you. So there are some people, you just have to say, look, I forgive you. And even if you all are not even talking anymore, in your mind, in your soul, you've got to forgive them. So that's the first thing you've got to give yourself permission to do, is to forgive fully. Oh, this is a good one. The second thing you have to give yourself permission to do is to forget frequently. You say, now, come on, Dr. Allmon. I get the forgive fully, but what is this forget frequently? I'm trying to remember stuff. I'm trying to enhance my memory. One of my mentors from Toronto, Canada, I'll never forget this. I was in my late teens, maybe 19, early 20s. I was pastoring my first church, and I was going to do a summer crusade in Toronto, Canada. And I'll never forget one of my mentors who I was preaching for in Toronto. One day we took a field trip to Niagara Falls, and I'm sitting there at a restaurant overlooking the falls. And he looked at me and he said, Ricky, he said, you got a great mind. He said, but I want you to learn how to let go of all the thoughts you already have so you can make room for thoughts you've never had. I've always been big on memorization. I've always been big on reading. I'm a voracious reader. I love to accumulate facts and relevant knowledge. But he gave me some wisdom that day. He said, it's not enough just to know what you know. But you have to come to a point where you're willing to let go of what you already know so that you can know what you've never known. And so if you're going to unlock and unleash the power of permission, you've got to forget frequently. Of course, this applies to forgiveness, because if I'm going to forgive somebody, I need to forget it in the sense of I don't need to harbor it in my heart or go back and regurgitate that. I need to let it go. So I've got to learn how to forget frequently. In other words, when you let go of the old thoughts you've had and the old patterns you had, it resets your vision for new ideas. Some people are so locked and so stuck in how they used to do things. You know why? Because they're not willing to forget it. I don't mean to get preachy on you, but I can't help it. It is who I am. Paul said, forgetting those things behind and reaching to the things that are before, I press toward the mark. In other words, if you're going to move forward, if you're going to be able to see your future from here, if you're going to live a life of curiosity, you've got to forget frequently. Reset your vision. Number 3, if you're going to release the power of permission, you've got to flow freely. What that means is you've got to be open to new opportunities. Don't be so rigid. Yes, you're supposed to plan. I told you earlier, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But at the same time, leave room in your plans for the unexpected. Leave room in your plans for the unknown. I'll let you in on a secret. When I came up with the concept of doing a video podcast like this probably about 2 years ago. And I remember sharing with my wife that I wanted to do a video podcast, just something to inspire people. I've been on social media, oh my goodness, since the beginning of Facebook. So I've always shared something. I've had future talk and all kind of different types of conversations. But I wanted to do something that was a little more structured, that happened in regular intervals. And so when I first started exploring this, I said, I may call it a particular thing. I'm not going to say what it was just in case I decide to use it, because I know some of y'all watching are creatives. Tell us what you thought it was going to be. Since you didn't use it, I'm going to use it. No, I'm not going to tell you that. But I had a particular concept for what this conversation would look like. But then as time progressed, I had new thoughts, new ideas. And it was interesting. Just the other week, I said to my wife, you know what? Maybe I should do something with that idea. She said, you've already created it. As a matter of fact, you've expanded it. That's what I mean by flowing freely. In other words, release yourself from fear. Release yourself from the fear of the unknown. Be like that water I just showed you a moment ago. You want to see that again? That was a gorgeous picture. I think I ought to show that to you again, because this is what your life looks like when you give yourself permission. Isn't that beautiful? Your life is designed to flow freely. Look at that. No boundaries, no restrictions. It's flowing over mountains, flowing through ravines. That's what your life is designed to do. And so when you give yourself permission, you're able to flow freely. And that releases you from fears. Number 4, the fourth thing that the power of permission helps you to do is it helps you to fail forward. Failure is not a bad word, nor is failure a bad thing. Do you know what failure really does? Failure actually shows you how mature you really are. Pay attention to how you respond to failure, and you'll know how much you've grown. If you're somebody who fails and you just get frustrated and, I'm just not going to try anything else, I'm done, I'm through, I give up. Well, that means you still need to mature. But it's such a thing as failing forward. I believe it was John Maxwell, one of the leading leadership consultants around the world. He wrote a book called Failing Forward. If you've never read that book, I encourage you to read it. So it's not whether or not you're going to fail. Everybody's going to fail at some time. It's about how you fall. And so it's important to learn how to fall forward. As a matter of fact, now don't send me any hate mail for what I'm getting ready to say right now, but there's a freedom in failure. Because when you fail, you're able to confront your greatest fears so that you can engage your greatest possibilities. When you fail, guess what you learn? You learn what doesn't work. When you fail, you learn what you shouldn't do. And sometimes that's the greatest discovery that you could have. I always tell people, you've got to oftentimes identify what you don't want so you can discover what you do want. So give yourself permission to fail, but realize you want to fall forward. That simply means that you want to take the lessons from your failure and use them for your future. I hope you're getting this tonight. I hope this is speaking to your life and encouraging you in your purpose and productivity. And then the fifth and final area that you need to give yourself permission in is you need to focus on you. I know you saw the alliteration. I was using two F's, but I couldn't do that when it came to you. You've got to focus on you. Start paying attention. Let me tell you something. It is not selfish to pay attention to you. In the corporate world, they're speaking about making sure you take time for self and doing things that keep you focused. Focus on you. Take time for you. When's the last time you thought about what you really like? When's the last time you thought about your favorite color? You see purple all through this show on the graphics. I've got on a purple shirt. You know why? Because it's one of my favorite colors. So tonight I say, I'm gonna wear one. I literally thought about what color I wanted to put on tonight. The reality is I always think about what I want to put on. It's just in my blood. I was raised that way. But focus on you. Pay attention to what matters to you. Pay attention to what you need for your life. You're not being selfish. If you say, you know what? I need to pull back from this. Learn the power of no. Give yourself permission to say, no, I can't do that. No, I can't go there. No, I'm not available now. Because oftentimes, when you give yourself permission to say no to certain things that you know will drain you, it opens you up to give yourself permission for possibilities and opportunities that will inspire you. When's the last time you did something you never done just because you wanted to try it? Just because you wanted to go after it? So take some time and focus on you. I want to give you an assignment with this last area. I want you to do something. Today is Thursday. I need you to make a promise with me. Over the next 72 hours, between Friday and Sunday, I want you to do at least one thing that has nothing to do with nobody else but you. I'm going to come back and quiz you next week. I'm going to ask you what you did. Matter of fact, that's how I'm going to start the conversation. And if I don't do that, you remind me. But I want you to do something. And then what I want you to do is pay attention to what it released in you. Pay attention to how empowering it was. Pay attention to how it made you feel. So let me give you these 5 things again. If you want to unlock the power of permission in your life, number 1, you've got to forgive fully. That restores your soul. Number 2, you've got to forget frequently. That resets your vision. Number 3, you've got to flow freely. That releases your fears. Number 4, you've got to fail forward. That reveals your maturity. And number 5, you've got to focus on you. That realigns your reality. I hope you have enjoyed this tonight. I hope it has spoke to your life. I'm so glad that you joined me here. We're here every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time. So go ahead and just shout me out. Let me know what you got out of this tonight, if it spoke to your life. Listen, if you do not have the Life Lessons book, I want to encourage you to get it ASAP. I know many of you that are listening to me tonight already have this book, but if you don't have it, it's on all major platforms. You can get a print version of it, or you can get the e-version of it. And then we also have the audio book now. You can find it on Amazon, on Audible, on iTunes. I know some people say, you know what, I don't have time to sit down with the book, but I'll listen to it. The book is called Life Lessons, 31 Proverbs for a Life of Purpose and Productivity. And what I did, I created 31 lessons. It's set up sort of like the book of Proverbs in the Bible, which is my favorite book. It's 31 lessons. And so for each day, you've got a life thought, you've got a life lesson, and then you've got a life application. And then in the book, I give you a page for life notes so you can write down your notes. I've had so many people email me, send me screenshots of the notes they've written to themselves and the areas they've highlighted in the book. Maybe next week I'll come on and read a chapter out of it. I'll try to put on my audio book voice. But you can get the audio book as well. As a matter of fact, if you want a free copy of the audio book, you can have that tonight. Just email info@RickyAllmon.org. Type free download in the subject, and you can get a free copy of the audio book tonight. You don't have to wait. And the only thing I ask you to do is when we send you the code for the free book, we're going to send you a code and a link so you can download the book and you can listen to it on your iPhone, your Android, your computer, your tablet, whatever your smart device is. I just ask that you go back and write a review. So that's the only thing I want from you, is for you to go back and write a review after you listen to the audiobook. But I'm sure you will enjoy it. And then I want you to join me along with my brother, Stephen Thurston. Just a great guy. I want you to meet us on Saturdays, every Saturday at 11:30. Every Saturday, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We have a conversation that's called "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, It Will Be Live Streamed." And so it's for individuals who are entrepreneurs, consultants, pastors, organizational leaders, social media influencers. It's for anybody that wants to maximize their potential, mobilize their purpose, and multiply their productivity. Stephen and I together have over 50 years together combined, because neither of us are 50 yet. I'm right around the corner. But together we represent over 50 years of experience and expertise in organizational, entrepreneurial, and pastoral leadership. So we've got a lot to share with you, so you don't want to miss those conversations. It's every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. And then I hear somebody saying, well, Dr. Allmon, how could I connect with you? I just, maybe you need mentorship. Maybe you're somebody who say, I've got areas that I want to grow in personally, in leadership. I want strategic growth. I'm trying to do succession planning. I just need mentorship for my life. Well, I represent over 30 years of leadership, organizational, and people development. And so if you say you want to grow and you need a personal coach, you need leadership development, you need strategic or help in succession planning, spiritual growth or mentorship, just reach out to me. Email me at info@RickyAllmon.org and I'll connect with you. Info@RickyAllmon.org. There it is on the screen right now. And I'll connect with you and provide you whatever tools that you need. Look, thank you for joining me tonight. I'm so glad that you took the time to hang out with me. I hope you have a great rest of the week. And listen, go ahead and share this conversation. If there was any point in this conversation that spoke to your life, go ahead and share it on your platform. And if you want to show your appreciation, well, you can look in the caption and see how to do that. But it's a joy to share with you. And I want to encourage you, whatever you do, explore your potential, engage your passions, and expand your possibilities. Have a great night. I'll holler.